Hello friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor S.P. Singh from Faculty of Management Studies, Gurukul Kangdi University, Haridwar. Today we are going to study Module 38 on quality criteria. After you have finished this module, you shall be able to know the quality criteria, understand the selective credibility, comprehend the reliability, know the procedural reliability, understand the objectivity, and comprehend the alternative criteria. How can the quality of qualitative research be determined? This issue of evaluation of qualitative research is yet to be established. Several general questions are raised about the legitimacy of the qualitative research. Is it appropriate to assess qualitative research with the same criteria and concepts as quantitative research? Is there any particular criteria to determine qualitative research which is generally accepted? Are there some strategies for assessing qualitative research and its results? Can research be valid and reliable without being subjected to the traditional ways of assessing validity and reliability? Such questions are prominently discussed concerning the value of qualitative research as a particular approach or as part of a wider concept of empirical research. Selective credibility. One critical analysis represents that the interpretations in and results of a qualitative research are designed to be easily recognized and intelligible to the reader if the explanatory quotations from the interviews and observation etiquettes are mixed with. In special cases, when this technique is used as the only method for documenting the statements, the credibility is not adequate. Gertler clarifies this in a very illustrative way. This procedure cannot solve the problem of comprehensibility adequately. It remains unclear how the researcher treat cases and passages believed to be not so explanatory of the distinguishing features or cases and passages that may even be departing from the norm of logically opposite. The different aspects of the problem could be expressed in a concise form as grounding qualitative research. Essentially, 4 topics fall under this heading. What criteria are appropriate to evaluate the procedure and results of qualitative research? To what extent the results can be generalized? What are the alternative ways to deal with the issues of quality in qualitative research more appropriately? How are the procedures and results of the qualitative research presented? The literature presents the following other ways for evaluating the procedure and results of qualitative research. To apply classical criteria like validity and reliability to qualitative research or to reformulate them in an adequate way for this purpose. To develop new appropriate criteria which justifies the specificity of qualitative research because they have been developed from one of its specific theoretical backgrounds and considers peculiarity of the qualitative research process. To discuss about how it is still possible at all to ask about validity given the crisis of representation and legitimization. This method contributes neither to further establish the credibility of qualitative research nor contributes to its results being relevant in any way to the community. Reliability. For the purposes of determining the reliability of the qualitative research, Kirk and Miller discuss three forms. Zeotic reliability. Zeotic reliability is seen as an attempt to state definitely the extent to which a particular method can regularly lead to the same measurement or results. However, this form of determining reliability is commonplace and leading to an error. Especially in field research, statements or observations stereotypically repeated should be seen as an indicator for a purposefully designed version of the event rather than as a clue for how it really was. Diachronic reliability. Diachronic reliability is the stability of measurements or observations in their ordinary course. There is a precondition that the phenomenon being studied in itself may not change, so that this criterion is effective. Qualitative studies are seldom engaged in such unchanging objects. Synchronic reliability. Synchronic reliability is the constancy or consistency of results obtained using different instruments at the same time. This criterion is most instructive when it is not fulfilled. The question then follows as to why this is the case and also raises questions concerning the different perspectives on the issue resulting from different methods applied by several researchers. Procedural reliability. Reliability acquires significance as a standard of assessing qualitative research opposed to a specific theory of the issue under study and the employment of methods. Different ways can be followed in order to enhance the reliability of data and interpretations. In ethnographic research, the quality of recording and documenting data becomes a central point for assessing their reliability and the following interpretations. The field notes are beginning point for this investigation in which researchers document their observations. Standardization of notes increases. Reliability of data collected by several observers increases if the notes are standardized. Different forms of field notes are approached to this structuring. The literature presents the following other ways for evaluating the procedure and results of qualitative research. Ways for evaluating the procedure and results. 1. Classical criteria. To apply classical criteria like validity and reliability to qualitative research or reformulate them in an adequate way for this purpose. Number 2, develop criteria. To develop new appropriate criteria which justifies the specificity of qualitative research because they have been developed from one of its specific theoretical backgrounds and considers particularity of the qualitative research process. Validity. In the discussions evaluating qualitative research, validity receives more attention than reliability. The issue of validity can be stated as a question of whether the researchers see what they think they see. Basically, three errors may occur: to see a relation, a principle, and so on where they are not correct, type 1 error; to reject them when they are indeed correct, type 2 error; and finally, to ask the wrong questions, type 3 error. A fundamental issue in evaluating the validity of qualitative research is to state definitely the connection between the relations studied and their version researcher provided. What would these relations look like if they were not issues of empirical research at that moment? And is the researcher's version grounded in the versions in the field, in the interviewee's biography, etc., and hence in the issue? This implies less that the assumption is made of a reality existing independently of social constructions than that the question should be asked as to how far the researcher's specific constructions are empirically grounded in those of the members. In this context, the position of a subtle realism starts from three premises. The validity of knowledge cannot be assessed with certainty. Decide critically premises based on their credibility. Phenomena do not depend upon claims. Assumptions concerning them can approximate these phenomena. Reality grows easy to be approached from one side to the other of the different perspectives on phenomena. The aim of research is not to reproduce reality but to present. If one begins from this point, the question of the validity of qualitative research takes the shape of another question. The extent to which the researcher's constructions are rooted in the constructions of the persons studied and how far this grounding is transparent for others are issues. Thus, the production of the data becomes one starting point for judging their validity, and the presentation of phenomena and of the inferences drawn from them becomes another one. Analyzing the interview situation. The approach to determine the validity of the interview is to verify formally if it was possible to ensure the authenticity aimed at during the interview. In the design or biographical research, validity is achieved by seeking answer to the questions of if the respondent's presentation is a narrative or not. This provides an answer to the question of the validity of the statements thus obtained by treating an uninterrupted narrative equal to a valid portrayal. This approach is criticized on the grounds that it addresses a very restricted part of validity. Legge suggested criteria for judging the validity of interview data and especially biographical self-presentations. A speaker's claims for validity in an interview have to be distinguished, judging separately that the contents of his speech are correct, socially appropriate in its relations, and sincere in terms of self-presentation of the speaker. The interview situation is analyzed for indications of any distortions. This analysis provides a ground for identifying systematic distortions or deceptions in the text that are the outcome of the interview situation and guide for determining the extent to which they have to be considered in the interpretation way. Researchers, such consideration may be extended further to include the interviewee. Another form of determining validity involves the actors in the research process, such as bringing in communicative validation at a second meeting after the interview and its transcription. Further authentication can take place by including the interviewee's agreement with the contents of their statements is obtained after the interview, and the interviewees evolve a construction of their own statements in terms of the complex relations that the researcher is looking for. One way of proceeding is to attempt a general validation of the reconstruction in a more traditional way. Objectivity. The objectivity is rarely discussed in the evaluation of qualitative research. Exceptionally discussed issues of objectivity and reliability in qualitative research for three epistemological backgrounds: realist, contextualist, and radical constructionist epistemologies. The authors show that objectivity as a criterion is only appropriate to a realist framework where it is interpreted as consistency of meaning. When two or more independent researchers analyze the same data or material, arriving at the same conclusions, infer their objectivity and reliability. The basic strategy employed is to triangulate results from different researchers working independently. The authors stress the need for researchers to make their epistemological position clear in order to make an appropriate evaluation of the research and its results possible. They attempt to discuss objectivity as a criterion for qualitative research rather than a satisfying suggestion of how to use it. Several alternative criteria for assessing qualitative research have been developed since the middle of 1980s. Trustworthiness, credibility, and dependability. Lincoln and Guha suggested trustworthiness, credibility, dependability, transferability, and ability to confirm as criteria for qualitative research. Procedural dependability. A process of auditing based on the procedure of audits in the area of financing is employed to check dependability. The link between outcome and process-oriented considerations about qualitative research becomes relevant when the development of a grounded theory is the general aim of qualitative research. The point of reference here again is the procedure formulated by the authors and whether it has been applied or not. These criteria are specific to the evaluation of qualitative research and its procedures, methods, and results, and they start from theory building as one feature of qualitative research. The procedures that led to the theory, the degree of development of the theory, which is the result of this process, and finally, the transferability of the theory to other fields and back into the studied context become central aspects of evaluating all research. Quality assessment as a challenge for qualitative research. The question of how to assess the quality of qualitative research currently emerges in three respects. First, the researchers themselves want to verify the correctness and obtain their proceeding and their results. Second, the users of qualitative research, including the readers of publications or the project funding agencies, desire to evaluate the research for their use. Finally, the journals, being publications, need to ensure the quality of qualitative research. For this purpose, they engage in peer review of manuscripts submitted to them and issue a number of guidelines for evaluating research papers. Friends, in this module you have studied credibility, reliability, validity, analyzing the interview situation, objectivity, alternative criteria, and quality assessment. Thanks for visiting EPG Pathshala.